إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. نشهد يا رسول الله أنك قد أديت الأمانة وبلغت الرسالة ونصحت الأمة وكشف الله بك الغمة وجاهدت في الله حق جهاده حتى أتاك اليقين، فجزاك الله عنا خير ما جزى نبيا عن أمته ورسولا عن رسالته. أما بعد، يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء، واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما. أما بعد، فإن أصدق الحديث كتاب الله وخير الهدي هدي محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار. ثم أما بعد. My dear brothers and sisters in Islam, understanding what's going on around the world is imperative for a Muslim to be able to live in an environment that you have to be aware of what's going on, not to be an expert in everything, but at least to be aware of your surrounding. And some of us may think that we're going to talk about justice, oppression, and so on and so forth, justifiably so. But we're going to go the other side, inshallah, and we're going to talk about the afu wa sabr, pardoning and turning a page. And we'll explain that and why we're going to do that, inshallah, according to the Quran and Sunnah, and again the stories of the righteous predecessors, in order for us to be walking in the footsteps, to be with them in Jannah after a long, healthy, righteous life, and to be able to continue living. Otherwise, we are going to be submerged in hatred, and we will eat each other in a way that we will not be able to survive anymore, because it gets to a point that whatever you hear and whatever you see, you may fall into depression, and you may not be able to continue. And that is not a character of a true believer. You still have to go no matter what happens. And understand that as difficulties you're going to go through, it is a simple fact that your reward is multiplied. And the more difficulties you go through, the more the reward. And rest assured, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam told us about these days where the yukhawwan al-amin, the one that is trustworthy, they will call him the one that betrays us. And the one that betrays us, they will say he's the one that is trustworthy. And you can only say Sadaqa Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. But time will tell. You can only look in the past and find out whose legacy was behind that is cursed after they die, and who is praised after they die. No matter how much you try to hide the truth, it will rise above the clouds of the lies and deception. Because it's a human being that is trying to do so. But when Allah subhanahu jalla fi'ula decrees a matter, no matter what you do, no matter what you say, Allah subhanahu jalla fi'ula's will is above all. يَمْكُرُونَ وَيَمْكُرُ اللَّهُ وَاللَّهُ خَيْرُ الْمَاكِرِينَ. You can go ahead and plot. Allah will plot, and Allah subhanahu jalla fi'ula is the best of plotters. Again, according to scholars, the plot of a human being to do evil, but the plot of Allah subhanahu jalla fi'ula to do justice and good. So you may not want to label a certain person something, and you may want even to not honor a deceased. But in order for you to do so, Allah subhanahu jalla fi'ula will honor that deceased. If you don't even want to pray the janazah, the whole world will pray their janazah. If you are going to deprive someone from medicine, if you are going to deprive a human being from a simple human rights, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will raise him above any of them. And you can ask about these predecessors that had the throne. and they held a position of whatever they call the power of authority. And you can go back in history, the people that they thought they were good people, wallahi, they curse him now. And those people that they thought they were bad, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala raises their honor. All you have to do is look back in history and know for sure that history will repeat itself. So if we talk about afwa and safh, the definition of afwa is pardon. Safh is turning the page. But even deeper definition of that is that afwa is that you pardon someone without having harm. And pardoning is that part that we came out of Ramadan of because of Prophet Muhammad telling Aisha radiallahu anha in Sahih Bukhari when he said, what is the best thing I can do in the best nights ever? She says, Allahumma innaka afuun tuhibbul afwa fa'fu anni. Oh Allah, you pardon, you love to pardon, so pardon me. So the fruit of Ramadan we have to implement. We have to walk the talk. We have to have the knowledge and action together. That's the twins of faith that we always talk about. So we have to implement the knowledge that we do. Otherwise we fall in their trap. And we know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will have a day that even though a person dies while they're being tried, that means the trial is not over yet. Because that trial will be raised up in the seventh heaven on a day where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will say, لِمَنِ الْمُلْكُ الْيَوْمِ. Who is the sovereign? Who is this kingdom? Who is the one that will say? Who is the one that will hold me accountable? So you can bring all the lawyers you want. You can bring all the judges. You can bring the kings and the king of kings, so you call. But they will stand in front of the one, the owner and the sovereign and the judge and the ruler of the heavens, not the earth, that you will not do anything with. But you will go back into it. You were created from it, and from it you will be resurrected again. And you will find out now. And even some, what do you read? That even in Surah Yusuf alayhi salam, the only prison that was mentioned in the Quran is the prison that was mentioned in that country. And believe it or not, the prisoner was innocent. And believe it up again, the judge knew that. And after all, if you look at the dates, there will be sab'a ijaf. There will be 7 years between that time that he was appointed and the time that he died. As you'll always know that they're even afraid of a deceased body. Do you believe it? They're afraid of a dead body. They're not just afraid of a live body. That's how a stolen something, a person, that if you give a cat something, it will leave in front of you. But if she snatches it, it runs away. And that's how a thief acts. They stole something, and that's what they want to do. They want to protect it in the worst way possible. But where are they going to run, Sheikh? Where are they going to hide? Do you think they're not going to go into the grave? You think they're not going to be resurrected? Allahu Akbar. Bala wa rabbi la tub'athun. By Allah, you will be resurrected. And nobody can help you on that day. And nobody will be with you in your grave. And no army can protect you. But since we're talking about what we're talking about, may Allah help us, wallahi. So let's go back to Quran and Sunnah. It is okay to feel angry for what you see injustice and oppression in the world. But it's how you act according, you will be held accountable. So it is okay to feel, but your behavior is the one that you'll be held accountable for. So let's find out how the best of creation after prophets and messengers acted, and how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us to behave. Understanding the word in itself, is some of the scholars say this safh and afu is like a wind that came after there's athar. There are footprints, the footsteps on a desert. But the wind comes and actually erases the footsteps. That means it's not there anymore. So Ibn Taymiyyah rahmatullah alayhi, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he said, Allah mentioned in the Quran, sabrun jameel, a beautiful patience. Yes? And he says also hajr jameel and safh jameel. He says patient that is beautiful, that there la shakwa ma'aha wa la fiha. That the patience that is comprehensive and more beautiful, that you don't complain in it or to it, except to Allah. And the other one is safh al-jameel. You know, it's like a turning a page. Safh comes from a page, turning a page. He says that you don't blame anyone for it. Done. And he says al-hajr, you abandon someone, لا أدأ معه. That means if you abhorred someone for their action and behavior, not for himself or herself. That you abhorred the act, not the person. And you don't harm the person. That is called the hajr jamil, according to Ibn Rahmatullah alayhi. So let's find out. Some of the Sahaba radwanullah alayhim ajma'in, for example, Abu Darda radiallahu anh, he saw people among the Sahaba radiallahu anhum ajma'in, used to found someone and they start beating him up and they start cursing them. He says, what are you doing? He says, this person here committed a major sin. He says, if you see this person fallen in a well, will you not save them from drowning? He says, of course. He says, that's exactly what you're supposed to do. لا تضربوه. Don't beat him up and don't curse him, but save him and give him an advice. So that man that committed that major sin started to cry and he declared his tawbah, repenting, coming back again. So they may prison you, they may deny you, they may deprive you, they may oppress you, they may plot, they may start a war, they may do whatever it is that you're watching over the years and over again, and they haven't learned. As apparently they're doing the same thing. The drums of war are happening again. It's just a different eye now. It's a different country with an eye. It's the same story. They've done this, they've done that, subhanallah, ajib. Yes, because they're after what? Power and money. If you go back to it, you go back again to al-haqqa, you see that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told you that. I keep repeating this. مَا أَغْنَى عَنِّي مَالِيَهْ هَلَكَ عَنِّي سُلْطَانِيَهْ. My wealth did not come in my aid, my power did not come in my aid. But that's what they're after. All they're after is money. Yes, war makes money, man. It's the war machine. You have to sell some weapons, dude. You have to get some people to work. It's business. Nothing personal. Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakeel. As every time we see this, we say, Abshiru bin nas, as I always say. Every time things are getting difficult, I always tell you that glad tiding is near. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, فَإِنَّ مَعَ الْعُسْرِ يُسْرًا إِنَّ مَعَ الْعُسْرِ يُسْرًا. Indeed, with difficulties comes ease, and indeed, with difficulties comes ease. But that linguistic part means al-usr, alif lam, is definite. That means it's the same usr, same difficulties. But when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says yusra, there is no alif lam mim. I mean, it's mutlaq, it's indefinite, it's not definite. That means with the same difficulties comes to ease. And that's why we're here to tell you, inna ma'al usri yusra, inna ma'al usri yusra. Abishiru, have the good news that difficulties comes with two ease. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala alleviate the difficulties upon this ummah. Ameen wa ahda wa alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. أقول ما تسمعون واستغفر فاستغفروه فيغفر لكم. الحمد لله وحده والصلاة والسلام على من لا نبي بعد أما بعد. My dear brothers and sisters in Islam, no matter where you turn, no matter where you go, no matter where you travel, you'll see the same thing over and over and over again. Just different faces, different names. Situation is there. You have to deal with it. You cannot run away from it. So let us find out exactly how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says. He said, وَجَزَاءُ سَيِّئَةٍ سَيِّئَةٌ مِثْلُهَا. Allah, the reward or the accountability of a bad deed is sayyi'ah, similar bad deed. And there is a second part which is better. Those who afa, those who pardon and turn the page, what's the reward? Allah. And that's called fadl. The first one is called adl. I'll explain that inshallah. إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَيُحِبُّ الظَّالِمِينَ. After this he finishes the ayah that indeed Allah does not love that wrongdoers. So Ibn Taymiyyah rahmatullah alayhi, according to Sa'di, afwan, Tafsir al-Sa'di rahmatullah alayhi says that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the same ayah give you three ranks. The first rank is adl, is fair. If you do something bad, you get rewarded with something equally bad. Recompense. It's a whole thing. But the second part is bigger. But if you pardon and forgive, that your reward will come from Allah. Now that's called fadl. Yes? That's benevolence. It's hierarchy. And the third one, he says that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves not the wrongdoers or transgressors or those oppressors. You know what that means? That even if you get your right, but you took a little bit more than what you deserve. You know what that means? You become an oppressor yourself. So Allah is telling you there are 3 ranks amongst the human beings. You choose. You can get your right back. Only it's fair. Justice. But if you leave it up to Allah, meaning the scholars will tell you, if you want to cut somebody's hand, Allah will leave it to Allah. Allah will cut both hands. And if you leave it, Allah will get you back. Don't worry. But you have to walk in the footsteps of Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radiallahu anhu, which I'll show you. I'll talk about it after this, inshallah. Then he said, after that, but if you get your rights back with the oppression more than what you deserve, you become an oppressor. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will hold you accountable. And that's why Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, when a man told him, a man when I pass by does not la yuqrini, doesn't say salam, and does not host on me, la yudayifni. This man is terrible. He doesn't say salam, he doesn't give me anything, he doesn't host on me. So what am I supposed to do with you? So be good to him. If they tell you this, ya Shaykh, this man doesn't do this and this man doesn't do that, what happens to you? You're going to get upset and you're going to go, I'm going to do the same thing. You're messing with the wrong girl, man. You're messing with the wrong boy. Homie, you know who you're talking to? You know who I am? Are you talking to me? That's what happens. Now listen to Ibrahim ibn Adham, rahmatullah alayhi. A Jewish man says, he was making fun of him. He says he had a dog. He says, Ya Ibrahim, هل لحيتك أطهر من ذنب الكلب? He's telling him, oh Ibrahim, is your beard pure or impure than the tail of this dog? Can you imagine you walking around and somebody tells you that? Yeah, it would be difficult. Look how he didn't curse him, he didn't fight him, he didn't think. He says, listen to this beautiful answer. He says, if this lihya was in Jannah, then this lihya, this beard is better than that tail of this dog. But if this lihya, if this beard ends up in the hellfire, then that tail of a dog is better than this lihya, than this beard. Allahu Akbar. That's how we're supposed to do it. Is it easy? La wallahi, it's not easy. Yeah. Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radiallahu anhu ardah. He had a family member that used to help him financially. And then the ayah actually is revealed in Surah An-Nur. When Aisha radiallahu anha was accused of doing something that is not befitting. This is the daughter of Abu Bakr as-Siddiq and the wife of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And Mistah was among the people that witnessed Badr radiallahu anhu. And he started to say things that is not befitting about Aisha radiallahu anha. Then Abu Bakr as-Siddiq was very angry with him. How do you say that in that? I am helping you financially, your family. You say that in the honor of my daughter, and that's the wife of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Wa radiyallahu anhum ajma'in. So he deprived them that money. That's it. I'm not helping anymore. No more soup for you. That's it. You're out. You're out of the herd. What happens? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala وَلْيَعْفُوا فَلْيَعْفُوا وَلْيَصْفَحُوا أَلَا تُحِبُّونَ أَن يَغْفِرَ اللَّهُ لَكُمْ. Yeah, pardon and forgive, forget. Don't you want Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to forgive you and pardon you? He says, Bala, wallahi, I want Allah to forgive me. What did he do? He gave them more money. Can you imagine a person that says that about in the honor of your daughter? Just to have it something that's tangible to you. Somebody says something bad about the honor of your daughter and your daughter is innocent. And you can imagine if she's married to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and you can imagine, can you take that? Wallahi, it's very difficult to take. Abu Bakr as-Siddiq says, no, I'll pardon him, not just pardon him, not just give him money, no, I'll give him more money than I used to give him before. Allahu Akbar. Umar ibn Khattab radiallahu anhu ardah. A man came to him and he started cursing. He says, Wallahi, you don't give us this. You're not just with us. You deny us this. And he started giving him really hard time. Umar ibn Khattab radiallahu anhu's face was red. Ibn Qais radiallahu anhu was right with him. He says, Ya Amir al-Mu'mineen. He was going to choke him. So he says, pardon, forgive. خذ العفو وأمر بالعرف وأعرض عن الجاهلين. Take what is above and beyond, and enjoy what is good, to be known, be good between people, and deter, stay away, omit, ignore the ignorant, وَإِنَّ هَذَا مِنَ الْجَاهِلِينَ. And this one here is among the ignorant. He says, فَوَاللَّهِ مَا تَخَطَّاهَا عُمَرْ وَكَانَ وَقَّافًا عِنْدَ كِتَابِ اللَّهِ. Wallahi, as soon as he heard that, he says, oh Allah said this in the Quran, O Amir al-Mu'mineen. Can you imagine? This is Amir al-Mu'mineen, man. He's not just another human being. This is the head of a state of all Muslims, all believers around the world. And Umar was known to be strong and very emotional. Yes, and feared by even the kings, the emperors of the Persians and Romans, the strongest of the world. They feared Umar radiallahu anhu. Even then, that man was saved by an ayah by Allah subhanahu wa jalla fi'ulah. He stops at the truth. He stops and we can't say, you know what? No, I don't care. At this point, La ilaha lakum, like others, what they did. There's no God today. Waliyadu billah, hasha. Now we have to understand also Ibn Mahrawan, rahmatullah alayhi. She's there's a jariya. We know the story. She had hot water. She lost control. The hot water poured onto Ibn Mahrawan. And he started to get angry. This jariya, this servant, was very smart. She said, وَالْقَاضِمِينَ الْغَيْظِ. I know you know the story, but just a reminder. Those who control their anger. It says, كَظَمْتُ غَيْظِي. I control my anger. He says, those who pardon people. وَالْعَافِينَ عَنِ النَّاسِ. He says, عَفَوْتُ عَنْكِ. I pardon you. إِنَّ اللَّهَ يُحِبُّ الْمُحْسِنِينَ. وَاللَّهُ يُحِبُّ الْمُحْسِنِينَ. He says, and Allah loves those who muhsineen. What is muhsin? Ihsan, we said. أَلَّا تَحْسِنِ مَنْ أَحْسَنَ إِلَيْكَ بَلْ تُحْسِنَ مَنْ أَسَاءَ إِلَيْكَ. You're not good to those who are good to you. You're good to those who are bad to you. He says, اذهبي أنت حرة في سبيل الله. He says, go, you're free. You're no longer a slave. Allahu Akbar. This is exactly what we're supposed to do, brothers and sisters. I understand, wallahi, it's difficult. Wallahi, I know. Sometimes you lose sleep over what's going on. But knowing for sure that everyone is coming to stand in front of Allah on Judgment Day, and this trial will be repeated with no bribery and anything else that they do in this world, يَشْفِ صُدُورَ قَوْمٍ مُؤْمِنِينَ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will cure the hearts of a true believer. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, لِمَنِ الْمُلْكُ الْيَوْمِ. Who is the king of that day? When he says, لَا ظُلْمَ الْيَوْمِ. No oppression today. On a day that is 50,000 years, where everyone will take their books, 99 files, every file as far as their eyesight can see. ما لهذا الكتاب لا يغادر صغيرة ولا كبيرة إلا أحصاها وجدوا ما عملوا حاضرا ولا يظلم ربك أحدا. You will find everything, minor or major, in that book, and no one will oppress you that day. So, brothers and sisters, having said that, also known that the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa jalla is above all. When Allah subhanahu wa jalla says, قُلْ يَا عِبَادِيَ الَّذِينَ أَسْرَفُوا عَلَى أَنفُسِهِمْ لَا تَقْنَطُوا مِنْ رَحْمَةِ اللَّهِ إِنَّ اللَّهَ يَغْفِرُ الذُّنُوبَ جَمِيعًا. أرجى آية في القرآن. Allah subhanahu wa jalla is reminding you, just you were so far away. He says, قُلْ, tell them, O Muhammad, عِبَادِي. And he still called you عِبَادِي, my slaves. He did not take you out. He did not say my disbelievers or whatever they are, atheists and whatever it is. He says, قُلْ يَا عِبَادِي. You're still my slave. Same word that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala used with Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Those who exceeded the transgressions and acts of oppression, oppressed themselves by doing what will take them to hellfire and away from heaven. He says, لَا تَقْنَطُوا مِنْ رَحْمَةِ اللَّهِ. Never despair of Allah's mercy. Indeed, Allah forgives all sins. Indeed, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the most merciful. With that, we say, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have mercy about Dr. Morsi. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant him the highest level of Firdaus al-A'la. By the way, if you say this in Egypt, you get locked up. Yeah? If you say Rahmatullah ala Morsi, you're toast. That's it. You're done. You understand there's some country, you're not allowed to say Rahmatullah alayhi. You know that, right? It's amazing, Sheikh. You cannot say that. Wallahi. So Rahmatullahi ala Morsi. Ameen. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant him the highest level of Firdaus al-A'la. Ameen. May Allah grant his family and patience that will take him to Jannah after a long, healthy, righteous life. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala يقر أعيننا بأمير المؤمنين. Ameen. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala get rid of all the tyrants and oppressions one time. Ya Ameen. Before we die, Ya Allah, Ameen. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala يشفي صدور قوم مؤمنين. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us something to please our eyes before we die. And I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to establish justice and fairness on the planet of the earth. And I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to show us what is right and follow it.
and what is wrong is wrong, and stay with it. And I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to reconcile our differences, amend our hearts, unite our goals, and make us love each other for the sake of Allah, for nothing else. Ameen. وآخر دعوانا الحمد لله رب العالمين. أقول ما تسمعون فما كين خطب الإنسان فمني ومن الشيطان والله ورسوله من براء وأعوذ بالله ذكركم وأنساه. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give victory to Muslims everywhere. And I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to alleviate even the Sheikh Yasser, bring him back safe and sound, and take him away from all these oppressions. And I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us among those who listen to speech and follow the bit. اللهم انصر الإسلام وأعز المسلمين وأعلي بفضلك كلمة الحق والدين وأذل الشرك والمشركين أعداءك أعداء الدين أوقع الكافرين في الكافرين وأوقع الظالمين في الظالمين وأخرجنا من بينهم سالمين. اللهم اشف صدور قوم مؤمنين، اللهم اشف صدور قوم مؤمنين، اللهم اشف صدور قوم مؤمنين ولا تشمت بنا الأعداء ولا الحاسدين. اللهم لا اغفر لنا يوم الدين. أسأل الله سبحانه وجل جلاله يشفي مرضانا ومرضى المسلمين وعافي مبتلانا ومبتلى المسلمين وارحم موتانا وموتى المسلمين. آخر دعوانا الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله على آله وصحبه والتابعين وأقم الصلاة.